Welcome back to Afternoon Garage. You knew this thing was coming back again. We're going to take a look at some of the repairs that we did, get an update on that, and I have an issue with the dash. So we'll be taking care of some lighting on the heater control. Let's get into that. It's been a few months now since I did the work on this Solstice, maybe 6 months. This car's been parked outside, and I kind of want to give an update, and we'll see how the headlights are faring, and we'll also look at those front brakes, see how those are doing. So it looks like these headlights are holding up pretty well. They have a good polish to them, and I don't see any clear coat peeling on them. I put some wax on them to protect them a little bit. I don't see any deterioration of that at all out of either side. Down to the brake area, you can see everything's holding up really well. I have some surface rust on the surface of the rotor, but I really don't drive this car very much at all, so that's going to be expected. But the important thing is the calipers aren't rusting anymore. Looks pretty clean in there. So when I first got this car and did all these modifications I did about 6 months ago, never really drove the car at night. So I was never able to really see that, well, the heater controls just don't illuminate. There's a number of lights that do work on here. The power window switches, the cluster lights up nicely, the steering wheel, controls light up. That's all good. And these two here too. This is actually the panel illumination knob here, but here, this dark spot, this is where the heater controls are. There's no real way to see what the heater is doing unless you turn the dome light on. That's kind of annoying. Looks like we'll have to take the dash apart again. See what's wrong with that. Did I forget to plug something in? I doubt it. We'll find out. Okay, first thing you do is you want to put something right in here. There we go. And then you got two screws along here. Okay. Kind of get in here with a couple different ones, couple different spoons here, and see if you can't ever pull this thing up. It's going to not sound, it's going to be terrible. It's going to make it kind of fall all the way up. Kind of release this side. There we go. And then kind of just lift it up and out. You have to deal with the shifter boot, so the shifter boot kind of comes up like this. There we go. Kind of lift those tabs out of there. You can see, just kind of taking and putting the tool underneath there and kind of bending the tab down, and should pop right up. There we go. Okay, there you go. Got that ring off. So now this is free. Okay. So this first one, just squeeze it, kind of rock these out of here a little bit. Second one, you're gonna grab it both ends, pull it out. Third one, same as the first. Okay, so here we have two connectors on the bottom. You just press the tab. Okay, a cigarette lighter. Cigarette lighter just press from the bottom. Should come right out. Now this whole panel should swing upwards a little bit, allowing you access to your connectors underneath. This one comes out with one hand. Okay, so that one comes out. Get in there with the tool, release the tab. Okay. And this last one here has a push. You just squeeze. The bulbs we want to look at are underneath here, but they're held in through the rear on the circuit board. So you can see right here, there's some clips and then a slide and then a clip pocket and a slide. So you're not going to be able to bend this outward. I think what I'll do here, I'm going to get a bunch of popsicle sticks and I'll cut them to about 1 inch long. Then I'll stick them inside of here and keep that clip open until I can slide the whole thing apart in one piece. Let's see how well that works. See, and that right there will be enough to disengage that pocket there. And you want to move from here that way. Gonna put your screwdriver on that and slide it out. That's okay, those are going away. Okay, there we go. Okay, here you can see the heater control mechanism. You got these 3 lights here. So you want to turn them 1/8 of a turn counterclockwise. And they'll come right out stuck to your screwdriver there, just like that. So I think what we want to do is we just want to hook up a battery to these and give them a test, see what happens. Initially, they don't look bad. Oh, that one's not good. So we'll just take them out. Usually when I do testing like this, I'll just take out one at a time so I can make sure and find out exactly where it was. In case one of these does work, we'll find out maybe there's a wiring problem on the board. Okay, it would appear that all three of these bulbs are bad. So I purchased these. This is a T4 wedge base instrument panel bulb. See, they're the same size as the others. They just screw in that 1/8 of a turn. So let's test these. There we go. And that's a regular incandescent bulb. It's kind of a warm white. If you want a different look, you can put it in a different color temperature. So I purchased some of those, and let's check those out. Okay, this here is a T4 wedge instrument panel bulb, LED style. So it has a current limiting resistor built in inside of this unit here. This is a 6000K color temperature, so it's going to be much bluer. Remember, there's polarity since this is an LED. And that polarity is incorrect. So we'll flip it around. There we go. So that light is much bluer. You know what? I think I'm going to go with these. These are LED. They're going to last forever. I'm not really sure why these failed altogether and so quickly. Maybe there's some vibration on this thing that caused these to fail. You don't usually see instrument panel bulbs all fail at once like this, and nothing else has failed on the dash except for these 3 bulbs. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put the LEDs in here for a longer life. Now to install these LED lights, you got to remember they have polarity. So to help you out, the top is the minus, the bottom is the plus. Okay, there we go. So the ground is on top. Stick that in there like that. Quarter turn. There you go. Not doing good. So the ground is on top. Okay, ground is on top. Now, if you'd like to test this circuit before you put it in, just to make sure that your contacts are good, it's the gray terminal here. Gray terminal is all you need to plug in. You don't need to plug in the dimmer control knob, which is on the dash. It's just going to go full brightness. All right, let's go try those out. One thing to talk about when working with LEDs is current consumption. Current consumption is really important. People think that current consumption is really everything. You know, if it draws less current, less load on your battery, less load on everything. Well, it can be good and bad. Because as we know, if you don't present a good load to the BCM, you get a fast flash problem with the turn signal. Well, something similar can happen here too. This has a dimmer circuit on it. And whether or not it's a pulse width modulated dimmer circuit or resistive dimmer circuit will determine whether or not your LEDs are going to dim. So LED conversions seem like a good idea sometimes, but really they can get you in trouble because what they do is you're not going to be able to dim these and they're going to hit a threshold, they're just going to shut off. And that's really no good when you have an instrument panel that kind of works to a point and everything goes blank. I've seen it happen. The incandescent bulbs take a lot more current to drive than these LEDs. So you're going to expect some weird things to happen. Let's go check that out. Here are those 6000K LED bulbs. There's really not much available red light to shine through the red overlay in the buttons. We did answer our question here though. It will dim. But maybe a 6000K LED bulb isn't the best choice for this. Alright, now we're going to try these others. These are the incandescent ones. They have no polarity, so probably just want to test them before you put them in. Just make sure they all work. Alright, let's go try this out. Here's the red incandescent bulb. You can see it's much brighter. There's a lot more available light with the incandescent bulb to shine through that red filter on the lens face. I think I'll choose the incandescent bulbs. In the future, I think that I would like to try like a 3000K LED bulb. See how that works. These will have to work for now. That's what I have. One thing to note here, when you put this back on, this is your main heater control, and it's controlled by a high current switch right here. So you want to make sure and put this in the right position so that they match up here. So in this case, we'll turn it to 0, turn it all the way off, and put it on like that. But let's say you do what I did, and you pull that thing off. Whoops, shouldn't have done that. I can't remember where it was. Let me show you how to fix that. First of all, don't go in here and try to open this spring clip up. That's not going to do you any good, because first what you need to do is you need to index this to that. So the first thing to do is remove that spring. Now what you want to do is you want to put this slide back on. You don't really know where it was, but it'll only go in where it's supposed to. So in this case, it's going to go in right there. And then check your lock-to-lock measurements. It should stop. Put it right in the middle. Then we'll slide this little clip on. And don't pull that out like I did. Okay, to reassemble this, I'm going to put this right in the center here. And it engages with those tabs in there. Make sure the operation of that, to make sure it all goes all the way to 0, all the way to 4. Boy, it sure was a lot easier getting it back together than it was taking it apart. You can see we didn't break any of these clips at all. We didn't crack any of the plastic in here. It's good to go, just like we weren't even there. Well, there you go. I went with the incandescent bulbs. So one thing to take away from this video, and just remember, is these LED bulbs, while they have a lot of advantages, they're not always the best option. You know, the dimming sure worked on this thing, but they didn't shut all the way off. And what they really didn't do is illuminate that well. You know, they're a 6000K bulb. There's a lot of blue in there. Just can't make it past the filter. So sometimes LED lighting is not the best thing for you. My advice to you is to test it out. Test it out, see what you like. If it doesn't work well, go with something else. There's always something else out there in the market to make something better. And obviously, there's things out on the market to make it look worse. Anyway, if you like this content, please hit the like button. And if you know anybody that would like this content, just let them know. Till next time.